keep watching, keep informed. We're going to be looking through the entire demon class that we have seen so far, its character creation parts, its abilities, loads of other stuff, even the story of how we're going to start. Hit the play! Okay, boss, 1 second. God damn it, man. So for the first part of this video, we're going to be looking at how we start the starting zones, then we're going to move on to character creation, then have a real look at the abilities that were showcased, and just overall what this class and spec and what it is about. So let's just crack on with that and go to the story. Okay, so this is all the information I gathered from it and how we're going to start out. This is how we start this Demon Hunter class. We need them for the fight against the Legion, and so how all this will start is through Illidan's eyes, which is pretty cool, and then we will see the story of the Demon Hunters, the Illidari, and then go right back to the moment during the Siege of the Black Temple, where we see Illidan send his Demon Hunters back on a special mission, a mission that is crucial in the fight against the Legion, because basically the reason Illidan wants to do this is kill Jaden, who is Sargeras' right-hand man, and Sargeras is the Titan, the leader of the Legion, and Kill Jaden is pretty pissed at Illidan. Illidan kind of screwed up a lot. Like, he screwed up a lot. He did not do anything right for Kill Jaden. And so, we can pretty much presume that Illidan did that on purpose in some ways to really just save himself from joining the Legion and then having to work for them. So, while we were setting up at this lovely little Kraken hole in the wall for his fortress, he was kind of helping to defeat the Legion. Like, he was proper sending out crucial strikes against the Legion on their home world. If we just worked with him, but I ain't going there. That's a different thing. That kind of screws up a load of stuff. Let's not do that. So, as we head back through the past and witness this story rich in lore, we'll be part of this group that was going on a suicide mission to the Legion's world, and this will be a crucial mission to really just hit them hard and just say, you know, we're here, we're going to take you down, we're going to try our damn hardest. But I'm not sure if we get to actually play during this event on this world, or if we just get to see it through someone's eyes. I can imagine it will be part of the heroic class leveling experience, just to teach you how a Demon Hunter works and all that, and that'd be great, and I think that'd be pretty awesome. So, either way, we will be seeing the planet Sargeras created for the demons to keep them locked away when he was a good, sane Titan. Now, since he turned crazy and insane, he freed them all and let them live and plot on this twisted world of death and destruction and evil. We get to explore that death and destruction and evil, and who knows, maybe even a glimpse of Sargeras in-game. Then after that, what we're going to do is we will head through the Vault of the Wardens. Now, if you don't know who the Wardens are, they are basically the elite of the elite Night Elves, the master of combat, and can defeat most people in combat. They are training from early ages to just really own people. Own some scrubs and some PGs. Basically, these guys are good, and they take down anyone who is pretty much causing issues. They're basically the elf police. They're just the police in general. So these guys had demon hunters trapped away in this Vault of the Wardens, and this is where I can imagine we step in. Basically, since the invasion, the Wardens have been struggling to hold their own against this massive army of the Legion, so the elite of the elite need help. How do they need help? So all we do as prisoners is sit by. No, they release us and say, here's your freedom, help us destroy some demons. And that is how this zone will start. This is how we'll go about us, and I can imagine this is where we'll sort of escape. So I can imagine what will happen is a bit of a, we'll go to the world of Sargeras' demons, we'll learn how to be demon hunters there, then we'll get trapped by, you know, wardens somehow, and then it'll come to a certain point later, 10 years later, where we're free, and then we're off to fight the Legion again. Which is pretty similar to how Illidan had to do it, where he had to wait around for, 10,000 years, and just sit there in chains, and then suddenly they need his help again when demons are about, and they freed him. So it's kind of similar to that aspect. So, welcome to the character creation part. This is where we just go over the real basic stuff of how your character will be created, what it will look like on the start screen. So here there is really not much details, they didn't show too much, they showed the basics, but there is some stuff that's pretty unique to the Demon Hunter heroic class. And so what you'll be able to do is change your horns. They'll have different sets of horns. I'll probably put an image in the background. You can have no horns, and you can have big horns if you feel like compensating. So you can have tons of different stuff. It'll be pretty cool horn wise, kind of like Taurens. but a bit more extravagant. And then you'll also have skin, which will be scaly and demonic, or normal and clear. And then you'll have chest markings, where they'll be green and glowy, or really dulled down and more scarry, or, you know, just different colors, different formations, all that stuff. Then for the eyes, you won't be able to change the color of your eyes because they will naturally be fell green. That's just the way it is, I can imagine. And so what you'll be able to do is change the veil. So what you can have is you can have a veil, you can have a cloth piece, and then they said there's going to be different ones. So that should be pretty cool and pretty damn interesting. I mean, there's really not much else for the character creation, so it's a pretty short part. But I mean, there is metamorphosis. Really couldn't pronounce that just then. There are metamorphoses, and so there'll be different parts of that. And I can imagine what will happen is you'll be able to customize that. And I've got 2 up on the screen right now. If you have a look up, go for it if you're just listening. And then you'll be able to see 2 of the different metamorphoses, and they look pretty cool. I think there's 1 right tank, 1 left DPS. It should be good. So moving on. Let's talk specs. Now, this hero class is unique, and it will only have 2 specs. So that's first throughout the entirety of WoW. That's never been done before, and what they're doing is Havoc and DPS. So Havoc is DPS, and then you have Vengeance and Tank. So Vengeance is tank, Havoc is DPS. It's real simple, it's not too bad to understand. So
Demon Hunter Healer though? Yeah, not so much. A little bit weird for us, so
the abilities, now this is what we got to get into, and they actually showcase quite a few. You'll have a thing called Fell Rush, which is an instant rush forward, dealing X amount of fire damage to all enemies in your path, and it generates 40 Fury. Now that you know it says 40 Fury, you know it's generating some sort of rage bar. So what's going to happen is demonic hunters are going to be working off a rage bar that'll probably build up to 100, or probably have 120 if you spec into it, and then you'll be able to deal damage through how much Fury you generate. So it's basically a rage bar, because rage is Fury. And so the next one after that is Chaos Strike, and this will generate 40 Fury, and you've got to be within melee range and requires a melee weapon. And so a brutal attack that strikes all enemies in front of you for an X amount of chaos damage. So there's really not much to this one, and on to the next page. Now we have Chaos Nova. This does 30 Fury, and it's instant 1 minute cooldown. So it's an instant cast, but it costs 30 Fury and is a 1 minute cooldown. You unleash an eruption of fell energy, stunning all nearby enemies for 5 seconds, dealing X amount of chaos damage. So that sounds pretty cool. It's basically kind of like Frost Nova without probably the cooldown, and you instead of a stun, you get a, or instead of the Frost Nova not stunning you, you get a stun. And so next up is the I-Beam, a 40-yard range. Now I'm not sure if this is accurate, because 40 yards sounds crazy, but as you can see on the image above, it says 40, and hopefully I haven't paused that up. So this will cost 25 Fury, and it's channeled and is a 12-second cooldown. What it does is blast the target and any enemies near the target for an X amount of fire damage over 3.71 seconds. So this is an overtime effect, happens over time, and so it's not instant. Next one. You'll have a thing called Spectral Sight, which is basically, the whole reason they take out their eyes is in order to see enemies through walls, and as well as see enemies that are stealthed and invisible. This is an instant cast, and it will be about a 2 minute cooldown. I don't know whether this will change, it probably will. A lot of this will change, so remember to take all of this with a pinch of salt. Next one. Now, the last ability that was showcased was Vengeful Retreat, which is an instant 24-second cooldown, but you vault back and avoid the next attack or spell directed at you. So that's a pretty cool spell, and I'm kind of worried that a lot of these abilities during PvP are going to be hard to counter, as they sound real dodgy. So I can imagine there's going to be a lot of balancing, as there always is. Next thing that isn't quite an ability, but pretty cool nonetheless. Double Jump. We get a double jump as a demon hunter. So someone, in the games when you jump once and jump again, we get that. That's never been done before in WoW. It sounds real trivial and real simple, but they're adding it in, and I am kind of worried. I'm kind of worried a little bit, because in arenas, there's a map where there's a ladder. Not a ladder, there's a platform, basically. It's like a wooden platform, you go along, there's other platforms to get up on it, and little ramps, but they could probably double jump onto that. Like that boosts their mobility by like quite a bit when you think about it in certain sort of aspects. So that should be kind of cool, and see how they deal with that. But yeah, we get double jump. That's just cool. An invisible wall's worst nightmare. So that's all the information and time I have for you right now. All the demon stuff looks pretty cool. The story sounds sweet. The starting zone sounds sweet. The character creation sounds sweet. Everything sounds so damn good. I mean, all the abilities look nice. And so at the end of this video, there will be more links to more in-depth looks to the zones, the continents, the main city, which is Daraland, which looks so damn good. And there'll also be sort of artifact weapon links, class order links, just all the good stuff. So thank you very much for watching. Any ways I can improve these videos, let me know. Leave a comment. I'm definitely going to get back to you. To be continued.